What's up, guys? My name's Johnny. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I am super into cars. I'm not like a certified mechanic or anything like that, but I do know my way around a car pretty well. Now, there's a lot of things that I don't know about cars, so in this channel that I've created, this will be my first video, of course, first real YouTube video. I have other videos, they're for my TikTok. It's nothing special, not like this setup's gonna be for YouTube. But in this channel, we're going to be learning on the way. I like to do a lot of research, forums, YouTube, stuff like that, just figuring it out on my own as well. There's going to be a lot of things that I don't know how to do that I'm going to be learning, and I mean, you guys will see that in the videos. I created this channel mostly to document my build on this car. You know, want my kids and my family to be able to watch these things and see me in action and just, I don't know. I did the TikTok with the couple Subarus that I had, and I liked the way that was and how that went and how it rolled. But I think this setup and the way that we're going to be doing YouTube is going to be a lot easier to follow, a lot easier to watch, and more entertaining, more interesting, stuff like that. This is my 1997 Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive model. It's my first all-wheel drive 4G 2G. Essentially, I had two Eclipses. One ended up being a parts car, and the other one, I used the parts off that car. It was a purple. I think it was also a 97, but it was the 420A model. It was a space model. I love the sunroof in it, so I was like, you know, the next one I get is gonna have a sunroof for sure. So after the purple one, I ended up getting rid of that, swapped some cars down the road, flipped a couple, and then I ended up with a 95, I think it was a 95, might have been a 96, Eagle Talon ESI. So 420A again. That one didn't have a sunroof, that one sucked, didn't have power windows either. So yeah, I was like, dude, next car I get, 2G, Eagle Talon or Eclipse, don't matter to me, is gonna be an all-wheel drive 4G63 with the sunroof, power windows, all the stuff that I had, most of the stuff that I had in the purple Eclipse. I'm gonna give you guys a quick breakdown on the car here.
Oh, fuck. Ow.
I'll tell you real quick. I've done a lot of work on cars over the years, different cars. It's cool as shit out here, by the way. A lot of different work on cars, you know, RX-8, Subarus especially. I have a sweet spot for Subarus, I have a sweet spot for Mitsubishi. This is a high school dream car of mine. I finally picked one up, this guy right here. I don't know, let me know if you think it's a steal of a deal. 30,000 mile motor. Got the paperwork for the motor. It's a 30,000 mile remanufactured motor. I've got the paperwork for it somewhere around here. It's got some work done as well. It's 140,000 miles on the car itself. There's been a lot of issues with this car, to say the least. I picked it up for 3,500 bucks. It was listed for 55 or 5 or somewhere around there. And yeah, 3,500. Took it for a test drive the first day. He's like $4 grand, because when I test drove it, let me think here. When I test drove it, I was leaning into it lightly. You know, I don't like to rip on cars, especially cars I don't know. I've never driven before. And he's like, bro, you can lean into it. So I leaned into it pretty hard and blew a boost line off. Big pop. Car lost some power. I mean, you know, with no boost, it's not gonna really pick up and go. It's gonna drive almost in limp mode, and it did. Pulled over, took a look. He looked in the engine bay in this front area, and he's like, oh, I think it's just this line right here off the turbo. So I was like, okay, cool. Fix it, let me know, I'll get back to you. I went home that day, talking to my buddy who's also into Eclipses. He's got one too. He's got the 420A model, but he's like, let's go back, let's go take a look at it. So I was like, cool, we're gonna go back the next day, or maybe it was a couple days later. Came down here to look at it. He still had not fixed the boost leak. Now, When we were driving it back to his house from the test drive, I could hear whistling coming from the passenger side, so I kind of already had an idea of where the boost leak was, but I didn't say anything. The car was in a lot worse shape. Like it was super rough when I first saw it, compared to what he had in the listing. He's like, oh, small leak here, small leak there, ABS light, but I was like, cool. Didn't seem like that much for $5,000. I was like, sure, whatever. Yeah, I came to look at it. He's like $4,000 that day. Came to look at it the next day, a few days later, and he still had not figured it out. He's like, dang, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, blah, 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 blah. I need the money. Family members not doing well, whatever, whatever. He said $3,500. Me and my buddy both looked at each other like, let's do it. Like, I didn't even have to negotiate. He just did it for me. So I was like, cool. Sent it on $3,500. Drove it home. Now it was also having a starter issue that day when we went to leave. It started on its own. It was kind of weak, but it started. Drove it home from Hayden, about 45 minutes or so to where I'm at. Then I moved into my new place and stuff, my new apartment, and drove it from there. It sat for about a week, and then we drove it from there to here. And I let it sit for about a week, and there was just a huge puddle of transmission, like gear oil. So I had to address the transmission. Put a new clutch in it, OEM style, because there's a lot of chattering going on. I didn't know what the hell was going on with the clutch. It had a lot of wear spots. He was burning the shit out of the clutch. He was like, oh, this is how you have to drive it. And I was like, I don't think so. So I put a new OEM clutch style in it. It wasn't automatic. I am in contact with a dude that did a lot of the work on this car because it was not the previous owner. He swapped it over to manual. It's got a lot of new parts on it. Very stoked about that. Turbo has like almost no shaft play. The transfer case was also leaking. Took that in to get it resealed after the transmission got resealed from this guy I know. Super cool, got it turned around pretty quick. Transfer case, he cracked the transfer case open. He said, have you been in here? I was like, no. No, I would not touch that. He said it looked like it was beaten with a hammer. So I was like, shit, that's not good. What are we gonna do about it? Being that it's a 97 to 99, I'm pretty sure they don't make those gear sets and a lot of those parts anymore. Can't find any locally. So in my head, I'm like, shit, we're good. I'm gonna have to buy like a 90 to 96 transfer case. And I ended up not having to. He found, he's a Mitsubishi guy himself. He's got like a lot of parts for these cars. So he threw in some used bearings, smoothed out some of the dents and the chips and stuff like that. And he got it back to me. So in the next video, I'm going to be installing the transfer case. There's a lot of leaks with this car. It does run, it does drive. I've done it. I got it here. We're doing an Eclipse conversion on the front bumper, Eclipse conversion on the rear bumper. The interior was tan. I swapped it all over to gray. This is my first video, so it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a lot of me just talking in this video, just to kind of introduce myself, introduce my car. So you guys have like the rundown on like what we're looking at, what we're going into, stuff like that. The next video, like I said, is going to be transfer case install. Once I get the transfer case installed, the axles will go in. A lot of this stuff up here has got to stay undone. I have a fuel filter leak in the engine bay, and it leaks quite a bit of gas. That's just how it was when I got it. When I pulled the battery out, the fuel filter is just flopping around. I'll show you guys here real quick. The fuel filter is literally just flopping around right here. This guy. Well, I got it up in a tighter spot now. But there's a hard line down here, and it's leaking. So I don't want to drive it around, get it up to temperature and have a fuel leak. That's like the worst thing that you could do. I don't know. I feel like I just want to play on the safe side, being that it's a 97, it's all the shit, everything. Yeah. Anyways, this is my other issue here. This ground, which leads me to believe the starter issue that they were having with it not wanting to really turn over, not really wanting to start here and there, is because of this guy. Now, I did get some new stuff to replace this. I just got to get some wire, and then I can replace this ground. But yeah, so that leaked that ground. And then I have a leak right up under here from doing the transmission, getting that back in. Oh my God. Let me tell you, I had the worst time installing this transmission by myself. That was terrible. I hated that. I hated every minute of it. But it's in, it's bolted down, everything's ready to go. There is a leak coming from, I want to say it's this whole thermostat housing, like this whole piece somewhere up underneath here is leaking. It's not right now. It's pretty intermittent actually, because usually there is going to be a puddle right up here, but there isn't. So yeah, I don't know. We're going to be taking that apart and replacing the gasket. I still have the automatic transmission wiring harness, so I've got a bunch of wires just dangling around, which I'm going to tape up and probably tuck or something. I don't know. I don't really want it in anywhere on parts that are moving. Basically right now, the whole goal for this is going to be basically getting it running and driving again. And then from there, working out the quirks on the car, which isn't too much. I got to get a whole cross member for this guy. And I know with the front mount intercooler setup, you don't need the cross member, but I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon unless I come across a really good deal. So I need to get a front bumper, the cross member. The fog lights I do have are cracked, and I'm going to try to look for some new ones or maybe some new lenses to go over. And then from there, once it's running and driving, we're going to be taking a look at some noise back here. The door, classic Eclipse, you gotta like fucking crank that door handle like 6 times just for it to open. We've got really nice drip mold. I'm a huge fan of that. I love it. Sunroof is in great condition, no leaks as far as I know, but both these windows leak. So I was trying to attempt pulling that other window out. So that car's noisy as heck. I was trying to pull that other window out. I literally had this much left, and it just blew up on me. So this one's the Eagle Talon. The other side was an Eclipse. So now I have a guy who has that window over there that I need. I just got to get him to deliver it. This side I'm going to take to a shop and get them to remove it so I can send this one out and get an Eclipse one put in and get it done right. Now the interior is all gray. I'm doing some work in here to clean it up, make it look a little nicer. I had a pillar up there for the gauges, and I believe it only had 1 gauge in it. Yeah, so I have the gray one here, and then I got this guy, which I don't really know how to install this yet, because like I said, I'm just a guy who's figuring it out on the way. I don't really know how to install this because there's not really anywhere for these for these bottom screws to screw into, and there's some for the top, but I have an idea for these, so we're gonna see how that goes. This is it. I mean, this is the car. Oh, actually I do have the window. That's for the driver's side, so I just need this one. I need this removed, and this one need the new window for this side. This car is in great condition. Rust wise, there's not a lot going on underneath. The rear diff does leak. And if you saw in the quick snippet, I was doing the Eclipse conversion. I got to get some rib nuts so that I can remove the Eagle Talon brackets and move them up. But I will put a picture in the video as well of what it looks like with the trunk closed and the centerpiece in it right now. I do have to drill a couple holes for the centerpiece to go in. But other than that, I mean, the rear end, move those brackets up and then the rear end can go together. So that's the car. This is the car. This is the car. This is what I'm going to be working on. This is what I'm going to be documenting. I'm hoping my videoing skills and maybe my editing skills get better along the way. I don't got a lot of room to work with. It's just going to be taken on a week by week basis. So 1 part here, 1 part there. Overall, to get it running and driving, I need the fuel filter, I need the transfer case in, and I gotta take a look at the rear diff. I don't want that leaking while I'm driving it. Fluids, all new fluids. And yeah, then I can drive it around and I can give you guys the first, POV cruise of the car, and then I can hopefully go get some new rear quarter windows put in, or at least get the quarter windows, put in, because it's freaking cold. It's wintertime right now. It's supposed to be snowing in December. It's supposed to be snowing. Spokane, I don't know. Bipolar as fuck. There's no snow. It's been raining for the last 3 weeks. Cold. It's 20, 30 degrees out right now. If anybody does watch this, thank you. if you continue to watch this, I appreciate you. Anything that you want to see on this car, let me know. I'll video it for you. I'll get it on here so you guys can see it. Any tips for videoing, let me know. I'll take them. I'll take all of them. I hope I can build a following. I think it'd be cool. I hope a community, you know, of cool, like-minded people that, you know, share the same interests I do. Yeah, documenting the build, you know. I want to see it from where it's at to where it's going to go. This is not a car that I'm just going to be, you know, throwing away. This is my dream, one of my dream cars, and I know I just really liked the way they look. It was like my second car, I believe, and I just loved the way it felt driving, even though it was a 420A. I mean, I didn't know any better at the time, and yeah, you know, thank you for anyone that's watched the whole video. I hope to grow this channel, and I don't know, we'll see where it goes.